Oh, there's the crush through. There's the crush through. Did you see that? Yes, I think we got a crush through. Can you believe it? Oh, I can't. I'm gonna die soon. This will be a true test of our skillet arms and maybe legs. Welcome to the Sturgian Viking and, well, with that terrible joke. Yes, lovely, isn't it? Anyway, this is going to be the first time that we're actually fighting against primarily mounted units. And you can quite clearly tell that this might very well be one of the last times that we even see most of our people, because I'm a bit worried about this, to be fair, because I don't have a huge amount of cavalry. The enemy has a significant amount, and oh, look, wait a minute, they actually do have some infantry. I was not expecting too many, and they actually have Sturgians? What? Why do they have Sturgians? Well, this should be much easier then, because Sturgians are, well, pretty terrible. Yes, I mean, really, they are kind of pretty bad, but anyway, the point is that hopefully, because they have introduced a little mixture of various different kinds of cultures in this army, that I should have a slightly easier time of achieving victory. Now, obviously, the enemy is a mercenary unit, or generally a unit that is from a minor faction, and that's the main reason why this is going to be slightly easier than a regular vassal. But, you know, that's not to say that minor factions are particularly useless. They just are not as effective as the full power ones, you know. Feels to me like they're kind of minor battles that don't really offer that much difficulty, as you can see. However, we did lose 8 units, and 3 of those were shock troops, which obviously is a bit of a problem. And of course, with the loss of Lek, in the previous episode, we really are kind of strapped for the amount of people that can indeed assist us. So having that additional death mechanic implemented into the game does make things just that much more difficult, which is very surprising to me, to be honest. I mean, yeah, okay, it's surprising that it's more difficult. You know, I get it. It's obviously going to be more difficult when there are enemies all over the place and your allies consistently get murdered. However, I haven't seen many of the enemy perishing in battle. I haven't seen that at all, which I am very surprised about as well. I don't know why that is, because you'd think, right, you know, it would be expected that the enemy would also have difficulties staying alive and keeping their vassals intact, you know, in one piece and above ground, suffice it to say. So what I'm actually going to do is I would like to take a look. I was actually taking a look at Mimir there, as you can see. This is the twin brother of Simir, apparently, according to one of you. And yeah, I was thinking to myself, okay, let's take a look at him. And he seems to not be that nice either, because obviously they are twins, but he doesn't have the best stats, as you can see. So it would have been much better to be Simir and, well, to get Simir to marry us, but unfortunately he said no. Well, no, we're just unable to persuade him, basically, so that's obviously not great. Anyway, what I actually wanted to do was take a look at, not Vlandia, I wanted to take a look at Sturgia and the various clans. So you can see here, obviously these two were already eliminated almost immediately upon us starting the game. Lek has just been eliminated, and then we have Ragnvald's clan. They haven't lost anyone. I'm not entirely sure when these died. Oleg the Old, I think he just died in general. But Vara, not entirely sure when she died. Then we have Isfan. We know that Isfan died in a recent battle. And then we have no one from Vashorki's clan. I'm not a big fan of Vashorki, as I've said in previous series. I feel like he's quite the backstabber, so we'll see how long he stays with the Sturgians this time. And Osvan actually also was someone to perish. He was only 21, way before his time. I would actually like to go over to Khuzait territory right now to try and purchase some war horses, because I will eventually need to field mostly these guys, Sturgian mounted Druzniks. Also, any kind of noble unit might be very useful too. So otherwise, we have 33 of these shock troops, by the way, because I've literally just been running around trying to do massive amounts of damage to the looters in the area. and it generally helps a lot to do auto-resolve because your units do gain more experience that way. At least with Bannerlord tweaks, I think they gain about double the experience that you'd normally get, or maybe 1.5 times the amount of experience. I think you can customize it, but I left it on default as far as I'm aware. But otherwise, there you go. We can actually vote for the new owner of this. Are they going to give it to me? They are! Oh, this is going to be kind of interesting. Do I want this? I'm going to spend 20 influence, actually, because I don't want their relation to decrease a super hardcore amount, and I'm already going to be getting the castle itself. So where is this? Where is this castle? Please don't tell... Oh, no, it's that one. Oh, yes, of course, of course. Not a big fan of having a castle so deep into Vlandian territory. It's going to be very dangerous. Anyway, let's choose our prisoners to ransom here. I'm just going to sort out all of this, and then we'll head on down to Vlandian territory. And indeed, our castle. Hopefully, we'll get there in time. It seems like I have not reached it in time because it has now just come under siege. It has not been taken yet, which is obviously a good sign. However, I'm not entirely sure. Oh, yes, not entirely sure how large this army is going to be. And they have 762. How many do I have in the garrison here? It's actually not even that bad. I do have about 100, but that is not going to be enough. That just purely is not going to be enough. I might be able to maybe scare them off a little bit. I mean, there's no army around here that I can really team up with, which is the main issue. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to attack that guy either. Alwith, I won't be able to attack him because he's right next to the big army, and the big army is going to, of course, join up with him. So it seems to me like this castle will indeed go away very, very fast indeed. I'm going to attack this caravan to try and reduce the amount of economic power that the Vlandians have, but this is a very small victory in comparison to having the castle be maintained into our control, but we can't do anything about it. Ooh, nice. Take him off his mount and slash him. Nice. Get him. Oh, I thought I killed that guy in one hit. He didn't die? He didn't die in one hit from this axe? Are you serious? I'm gonna need to do more damage. I'm gonna need to make a better axe, I guess. I mean, I have been doing a lot of smelting as well, by the way, so I feel like smelting is definitely gonna hopefully unlock some really, really good parts for us. But I think what I'm actually gonna do is when I go back to Sturgian territory after I've spent a little bit of extra time in Vlandian territory, just doing a little bit of maybe a village raid or here or there, maybe a couple of fights against some vassals and things to do some damage to their combat strength, then I might try to buy a two-handed axe from one of the marketplaces there and smelt that down for some parts. Alright, it looks like the army has gone in to besiege my castle. Unfortunately, Godun, amazingly enough, has gotten an army together, and he is relatively close by. He's actually over here, as you can see by this wonderfully cool icon that they've added recently. And I'd love to be able to have him coming over here, but that's the reason why I said unfortunately, because it seems as though he is not having that many units. He has about 250, which is maybe going to be enough after this army is done with the castle. But yeah, you can see here that their strength is actually dwindling quite fast. And if Godun would actually come over here, we might even be able to combine our forces and take these guys on. But unfortunately, the AI is not that smart and is not going to do that kind of thing randomly. So yeah, you can see that. Boom, there you go. And there's only 68 defenders in there. Technically, I'd be able to go in there super, super fast, maybe even auto-resolve it straight away. Oh, wait a minute. Godun! There he is! Oh, go. Come on, Godun. I am right here, sir. I am right here. I am ready to go. Yes, he turned around because he knew I was right here. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Okay, I'm sorry for taking Lek from your clan, Godun, because he probably would have been much safer in your clan, but oh well, never mind. Anyway, let's just take a quick look at the composition of our opponent. They do have a couple of rather scary mounted units, but other than that, they don't seem to have anything really that dangerous. So we should theoretically be fine. All right, so before we actually go into the battle, I actually neglected to level up. So yeah, what we have here, we have a 100 trait to spend, 100 level trait for trading. And what are we going to do? Every villager party entering your town generates 10 gold income, or every caravan entering your town generates 25 gold income. Now, here's the thing. This is only as governor, as far as I can tell. So if you are indeed the governor, or if you are giving this trait to a companion that you have made your governor in your particular town, whichever it may be, then this is obviously going to help you out quite a bit. But as it stands, this basically does nothing. Otherwise, I'm going to be going for more trade skill, more social as well. I'm kind of a bit surprised that my two-handed and one-handed are taking so long to level up, but well, that's just how it goes. Anyway, let's move in. Did you see the combat strength there? The combat strength is in our favor by a pretty significant amount. I'm quite surprised by that. I really did not think that we were going to have any advantage whatsoever, because the Sturgians do seem to have pretty bad units. Oh, here come the... Wow, okay, here come the mounted units already. That is very, very fast indeed. I would not have expected them to react so quickly, but okay. Get him. Ah, throwing axes. Terrible. No, I'm awful with them. I know. I don't have any focus points in them or anything like that, because there are more important things to spec into at the moment, especially in game version 1.5.2. Yeah, 1.5.2. That's the correct version. Very good. Oh, nice. Oh, that was a nice jump and slash. I did not take him down, unfortunately, but I did do some significant damage to his mount, because the mobility that the mounts provide these units is just unparalleled. All right, so it seems to me like I am actually overextending right here, because the enemy army is right there, right in front of us, and our allies are pretty much just staying here. They're just staying here in a pretty actually very cool formation. I don't know whether you noticed this, but look at what they've done. They've put their infantry on the outer ring of this circle, and they've put the archers on the inner. That is actually amazing, and I would love to be able to do that myself, but I don't think I have that option, because if you take a look here, and you go to, let me see, what do I want to go to here? I go to form, and then I can form a circle, indeed. However, I don't think that's really going to make any difference, because I don't think I'm going to be able to do anything with my archers in a similar fashion. So let me actually just try that, shall I? So let's put them in a circle, and let's put them over here, and then the archers will also go in a circle. Look at how cool that is. Oh, that's really, really awesome. Now, the only reason why this is probably going to work, though, is that the archers are on a slight elevation. If they were not on an elevation, this would not work at all, because the infantry would be too close to them, and then line of sight would be blocked by the infantry. So obviously that's a bit of an issue. But otherwise, yeah, we don't need to stay in that formation anymore, so let's just go shield wall, and we'll actually start doing something here. Hopefully my forces are actually going to start attacking, or shall we say my allies, because I don't really want to lose a huge amount of my units that I have spent many times, many battles trying to level up. And, you know, the vassals in general are quite a lot easier for them to replenish their ranks and things like that. So I don't really need to worry too much about them. Anyway, I'm going to tell everyone to charge in, with the exception of the archers. The archers can come over here. They can go back into a loose formation as well. So otherwise they're just going to stay around with the circle. We don't really want that. So let's go two-handed. Oh yeah, I'm ready. What? Why are you running away, guys? Are you seriously sending my dudes in by myself? Hopefully not. Get him. Ah, nice. Nice overhead. Yeah, I've actually decided that I feel like overheads are really fun to use, and I know that I used to say that a lot in Warband. Generally, Warband had, in my opinion, much more usable overhead attacks, but I think once you get used to the way that overheads work in... Oh, there's the crush through! There's the crush through. Did you see that? Yes, I think we got a crush through. Can you believe it? Oh, I can't. I'm gonna die soon as a result of the unbelievable crush through that we just got. I was just getting carried away there for a real quick second, but yeah, that is exactly the reason why I really like overheads in Bannerlord now, because beforehand, not such a big fan because, as I said beforehand, the way that it follows through from your body, it's a bit difficult to utilize. But I think it's a lot better than Warbands now, just generally because Warband does have crush through blocks, but it needs to be a specific weapon that gives you that trait. And obviously Bannerlord doesn't have specific weapons, it's just two-handeds, I guess, that are capable of just doing that. Anytime you do an overhead, then you have a chance to do it. I guess axes and maces probably have a much better chance of doing that rather than swords. But I'm not entirely sure on that because, as I say, I haven't really had that much experience utilizing them. But otherwise, let's do some damage. I want to get my one-handed weapon proficiency leveled up. Oh, nice kill right there. We're almost at 75 athletics as well, which would be very nice to get. I'm just trying to stay alive here pretty much. If I can stay alive, this is going to be... Are you serious right now? I cannot believe my luck. Did you see that? I got killed by a dagger-wielding peasant. Okay, fine. That's fine. As long as Iceni does not die, that is all that we care about. As long as she stays alive. It seems like everyone's alive. Yes, all our vassals stayed alive. No enemy died either. I'm actually kind of surprised about that. All right. Well, we did end up losing quite a few units, but the victory is ours, and that is pretty much all we wanted. So I'm happy with that. And now we can take all of these people prisoner as well, which is exactly what we want to do. All right, so I still am unsure whether we should start executing people, because just see how many vassals they have here. It is a significant number, an absolutely huge number of vassals. And being able to completely cripple that particular faction by executing all their people, that would be probably the way to go. However, I did see a comment that someone left, and basically you said something like you needed to... the minor factions... See, now, here's the thing. What happens is when you start reducing the presence of lords in a particular faction, that faction starts to recruit as many mercenary companies as you possibly... or what shall we say, as they can possibly get their hands on. And that results in another case of I have to hunt down the clan leaders of these clans and execute them as well, and continue executing and so on and so forth. So it is very much a snowball effect, and definitely something that you probably want to try and avoid as much as you possibly can. So it is a bit of a dark, deep abyss that continues onward no matter what you decide to do. So I think once you have started along the path of executions, you're pretty much locked in as a result. So maybe not the best idea to go with that for now, but who knows, maybe at some point in the future when there's only like 2 factions left or 3 factions left, we might decide to do that. But there are people already dying in the game, and I'd actually kind of like to see how natural and dynamic the whole way that the death mechanic is dealt with. And we'll see how that goes, because personally I would love to see who dies, who lives, and that basically creates a whole new level of randomness as well in the game. So I think that's pretty nice. Anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to get these things constructed as fast as I possibly can. I don't know why my engineering skill... Why is my engineering skill not leveling up? Oh, it's because I have literally no points in it. Well, I mean, it does have a learning rate of almost ×2, and technically I would be able to get to at least 30 or 25, as you can see right there. So not entirely sure why I'm not leveling up my engineering right now. Maybe you need more than the basic amount of experience, but obviously, as I've said, my various experience mods do interact in a rather logical fashion where it takes a little bit of time to start gaining things. But yeah, I actually wanted to auto-resolve this if I could, but that might not happen. You know what? I'm actually not going to do that. I would prefer, if at all possible, to actually attack Are you serious? Yeah, that's what was going to come at us right there. Did you see that? Yeah, that massive army was coming at us right then and there to try and defend the castle. And, oh, Godoon's actually trying to take this. Okay. Oh, fantastic. Oh, actually, maybe the army was coming for Godoon's army. That might actually make more sense. Okay. Oh, make peace with Make peace with Vlandia. Yes, I really do not want to make peace with Vlandia, but I am going to be attacking this guy. I'm going to auto-resolve this, actually. Because we're only going to take... Yeah, look at that. Only 3 casualties. This guy literally has nothing. Whoa, he gave me 10,000. That's the maximum. That's the maximum that you can get. So apparently this guy has a huge amount of cash. So we're just going to take him prisoner, as we always do. I won't take any of the prisoners either, because I'm basically at the moment just cherry-picking what I kind of want to keep. So, for example, I have a lot of Sea Raiders, I have a lot of Sturgians, and a variety of other random Viking-based units that I think fit the theme of the series in my Prisoner's Hold, and I'm just recruiting them whenever I can get the chance. But I think what I'm going to do is I will indeed make peace with Vlandia, as you can... Oh no, the Sturgians are losing combat strength so dramatically at this point. I am not sure how to do this. I really don't, because you can see quite clearly here, just look at the peace agreement. Actually, many more... Wait a minute. Many more Vlandians were freed than Sturgians. I'm not entirely sure what is even happening with the combat strength, to be honest. What actually affects combat strength? Because to me, it feels like vassals make no difference whatsoever, and it feels like territory actually makes more of a difference. So, I mean, we've received 21,000 tribute over the course of the peace agreement with the Battanians, which you got to think is pretty decent, right? You know, 21,000. But I have 210,000, and I could very easily have much more than that. And I don't think it's worth it, to be honest. But the Sturgians are just getting picked on. Once again. Always getting picked on. I'm actually not entirely sure how I'm supposed to do anything here. But what I might try to do... I'm going to see, actually. Wait a minute. Can I... I would like to... I'd like to steal one of these fiefs and give it to myself, if at all possible, because if I have the ability to garrison things and have them place units in there and everything, you know, because lords and all kinds of people are going to be placing free units in there pretty much all the time, and that's the reason why in previous series I've been able to construct armies relatively quickly. However, with that also comes obviously quite a bit of responsibility, because you do have to make sure that it does not get taken and everything. But you know, that's the reason why I wanted to try and defend that castle down there. But unfortunately, I wasn't able to make it there in time, and we have now made peace with Vlandia. We're now at peace with pretty much everyone, and bad things are afoot. Bad things are afoot. I'm not entirely sure where I should go next and what I should do, but what I do know is that my trade skill cannot hurry up fast enough, because I need to get everything has a price as soon as I possibly can. That is going to be so important. It really is. Parties in armies you lead move faster, +2 party size for each fief you own. Okay, yeah, that logistics expert is just so much better in every single way. But otherwise, there you go. That's going to be it for this episode. If you enjoyed it, then by all means leave a like, and otherwise, I'll see you next time.